What is up, everybody? Turboverse here today. So we're gonna talk about Sony fanboy who was way too pissed off about this tweet right here. I made a video about this tweet yesterday about this IGN journalist covering this story right here, saying Xbox One is being discontinued, while Sony is still making PS4s. Apparently, this Sony fanboy got super butthurt about this guy's tweet. That he made his own separate tweet about this, and then it's just like, wow. These guys are super butthurt. So apparently he is saying now that Xbox One was a failed project and still was being sold at a loss. So of course Microsoft wants to bury that product as fast as possible. It was losing no money to the very end. No sense in keep making a product that loses money. So apparently this guy must not be aware that pretty much both Microsoft and Sony lose money on these consoles being made. That one was actually the only company that's actually making a profit out of the three is Nintendo, because their hardware isn't too demanding like how Microsoft and PlayStation like hitting 4K, doing like 60 FPS and higher. So Nintendo's the only one who's been making money with these systems, but Microsoft and Sony both have been losing money. And I think it's just recent that Sony said they wasn't losing money on these systems. But throughout most of their life cycles, they all lose money on these consoles. It's just the business how it goes. They make money on their software and subscription services. So I don't know why he's just ignoring that fact right there. But to say the Xbox One was a huge failure, it's like, that's just stupid. They both lose money. And obviously, it wasn't that big of a failure if they keep making consoles. It's like, why would you keep making consoles with such a huge, of that much of a failure? Like, it's just, these guys are just ridiculous. And then it's like, he says Microsoft wants to bury that product as fast as possible. It's called moving on to the new generation. It's like, we got Xbox Series consoles. Why would you still want to play Xbox One consoles if you have the means and money to move on? Why would you still play on this old hardware? Why would they still continue making it? It makes no sense. So I just don't get this guy's stance. He seems really butthurt about this guy's post right here. So let's see what people have to say about this comment this guy made. I would just say you're being a little theatric about your stance on Xbox One. For what it was compared to other consoles that didn't catch on, like the GameCube, Dreamcast, Wii U, selling 50 plus isn't bad. Did he say selling 50 million was bad? Did he say that? I don't know if he said that, but 50 million consoles isn't bad. I wish I could sell 50 million or something. I definitely would be living in a big house right now. That's what I'd be doing. What's crazy is they're losing them money, but PS5 was already making a profit, not even a year into the gen. And then at the end of the day, why do they care how much money Microsoft or Sony is making? Are they getting a cut of it? They are getting a cut of it. I don't care if Microsoft or Sony loses money. Like, it doesn't affect my bank account. So I don't know why they care so much. Then he says Nintendo and Sony are just better at creating hardware and generating profits. Really? The PS5 has a horrible design right now. And the Nintendo Switch has, like, each Nintendo console, their handhelds or consoles, they have multiple versions of the same thing with like very like slight differences. Like the Nintendo Switch, you got the Nintendo Switch Lite, you got the Nintendo Switch OLED. And they're not really changing too much. So I don't know. It doesn't just make better hardware. That's debatable. Generate profits. Microsoft hasn't figured it out for some reason. It's kind of weird, actually. Isn't Microsoft like an extremely rich company? Like if not one of the richest companies? Like, I'm pretty sure they know how to make money. What is this guy talking about? Xbox consoles have never turned a profit. That is correct. Microsoft rep stated this during the Epic Court trial last year. Okay. All Xbox consoles are sold at a loss. They've stated this. They make their money through subscriptions. The estimated cost of Xbox Series X is the same as $1,500 PC, from what I remember. Okay. So does Nintendo and PlayStation, except they find a way to no longer sell consoles at a loss. Where PlayStation PS5 is already profitable, so they make money off consoles, game peripherals, and subscriptions. I'm not sure how they make money with that digital PS5. Like, I don't even care, to be honest. I don't care. I'm not gonna change that question. I don't care if they make money on that digital one, but whatever. Oh yeah, I almost forgot that Microsoft has never made money off any Xbox hardware ever. The Xbox One really is the worst. Okay. Meanwhile, I had an Xbox on Xbox One generation. I mean, I had an enjoyable time with that system, but like I said, it's time just to move on to the new stuff, man. I didn't hate my experience with my Xbox One and my Xbox One X, so I just don't know what these guys are talking about. All console manufacturers lose money on the console. They make their money with software and services. Everyone who knows the smallest bit about the industry knows that. People act like they didn't immediately move on due to its failure, or it's because it's like the Xbox Series consoles do everything the Xbox One console does, but better. Why would they continue to make the Xbox One? So it doesn't make any sense. They want them to go back to making the Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles do it better. It doesn't make any sense. I just don't get it. Apparently, they are truly on board with PS4 still being supported in 2022, which is just dumb in my opinion. It's like, I understand they got a PS5 shortage, but going back to last generation, it's just stupid. It's like, I don't want to go back. It's like, technology advances, I'm going to go with technology advancing. I don't want to go back to the old hardware. Now, Xbox simply believes in the correct generations moving forward. Yeah. Got to move forward with technology, not get hardware from years back. It doesn't make any sense to me. No, without doubt, this console is one of the biggest fails. 3 models and sold only for 50 million. Original was a hardware mess. We catalog almost 0 new IPs. Connect DRM. So it's just funny, out of all the consoles that ever made in the history of gaming, apparently the Xbox One was the biggest failure. I mean, this console is still not even around to this very day, but they didn't have a sequel or a successor. They're just gone completely. But apparently Xbox is the biggest failure to these guys. These guys are just clueless. There's literally consoles, people who make consoles who aren't even making consoles anymore. But apparently to these guys, Xbox One was a failure. Or let's not talk about the Wii U. The Wii U, I don't want to bring Nintendo to this nonsense with these Sony guys, but the Wii U did terrible in sales. That thing did bad. It was so bad that people thought it was just the Wii. People were just confused and thought that thing was like legit the Wii. But it's like that thing was a failure, but the Switch was a huge success. And it's pretty much has most of the Wii U games. So it's like, it's a lot of systems that are way worse than Xbox One. But for these guys, it's just something to harp on because they are so butthurt that this one journalist said that because the Xbox is moving on with new hardware while Sony's still trying to produce this old hardware. Okay. Jeez. This isn't the sick burn he thinks it is. The Xbone is being discontinued because no one has wanted it for a long time. People still buy PS4s in some markets. To be honest, I wouldn't mind finding an Xbox One X or something to replace the OG Xbox One. Why even do that? Like, just buy Xbox Series X if you can find one. I don't get it. The Xbox One X was the fastest console discontinued from gaming industry because they made a new console. Like, apparently they think they were really getting a win or a gotcha moment, but who wants to play the old Xbox One stuff at this point? Like, if you have the money and it means to get a new series console, why would you still stick with the Xbox One generation? I don't get it. That's like saying, hey, I go to the store and sell these 4K TVs, but I just want to see if I can find like a 720p TV. Like, why would you want to get the old TV? It doesn't make any sense to me. Oh man. Isn't Game Pass losing no money? It's not profitable. Microsoft has always sold Xbox at a loss. Console sales aren't used to make more money. Xbox thanks you Xbox thanks you for the 24/7 publicity you give it. Yeah, they talk about Xbox 24/7 at this point. It's just like a walking advertisement on social media for Xbox. But as much as they talk about it. Though I think the Xbox One was such a weak generation for Xbox, I don't think the console selling a loss is a barometer for measuring their failure with that generation. Consoles are sort of lost most of the time, with the software making the money. Yeah, I actually preferred the Xbox One over the PS4. Especially when I first bought it, I bought my Xbox One before I bought the PS4. There's like a lot of exclusive games I liked on that system. So it's all just opinion based at the end of the day. But these guys they be overdoing it with some of this stuff. Is this dude dead ass? On God, the copium is at an all-time high. Yeah, apparently they just got over this dude kind of like journalist comment. Still butthurt about it. Jeez, is he literally just arguing with everybody in this thread now? And like those guys says, Xbox is actually worth more money than PlayStation, and you hate that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Microsoft makes more money than Sony or PlayStation as a whole. So I just don't get this guy. PlayStation makes more money, a lot more than Xbox. Only publisher out there that makes more money than PlayStation is Tencent. Xbox is not even close. And this guy, like, I don't get it. Like, why do they show for this PlayStation? Why do they show for this plastic box so much? Who cares? At the end of the day, who really cares? I could understand if he has stock or ownership in Sony or PlayStation, but he doesn't. It's just weird to be attached to this console so much. Like, who cares at the end of the day? Exactly, in both cases, the decisions they take is rooted in economics, not to please us who like gaming. Microsoft accountant, welcome. Apparently these guys are all like accountants now for these companies. Oh man, the console itself was excellent. It has never recovered from the bad launch. They discontinued it because they have the Series S. It's fairly simple. Yeah. Why would you buy Xbox One S when the Series S is around? Why would you buy Xbox One X when the Series X is around? It just makes no sense. It's time to move on. Wow, this Sony making PS4 still got under the skin of the PlayStation fans, but why? They are really bothered by that apparently. I think it's because Jim Ryan said that whole believe in generation statement, and so Xbox guys went with that, and I think that really got under their skin for some reason. They really got under their skin because you see, Sony is going back to PS4 generation, while Xbox is like completely just moving on to Xbox Series consoles and next generation. So stop capping. All the consoles are so at a loss. That's their appeal. This is like Samsung discontinued the PS2 after the launch of PS3 because your pathetic brain thought they were losing money. Old consoles are discontinued when new ones start picking up the pace. Use your common sense. Yeah, that's kind of obvious. He's defended because now the PS4 is going to hold the gen back. Yeah, they made all those statements in how Xbox Series console is going to hold back gaming, and now we see the PS4, something with the PS4 is holding back gaming. The irony. Selling at a loss can be good for business, although it's not always a bad thing. If it was bad, then Xbox wouldn't be as big and successful as they currently are compared to the Xbox One days. Game Pass doesn't make a profit, you know that, right? How do they know? Like, are they Microsoft accountants? Like, these people are so... And who would care at the end of the day? As long as they're giving you these games for $10 to $15 a month, why do you care how much money? Like, I don't care how much money Netflix is making. I've never thought about that a day in my life. But apparently it's very important for these guys to be like accountants for these big companies. It's just weird. Weird energy right here. The words you're trying not to say is that PS4 is holding back next gen. Keep that same energy. Stop the cap. 56 million isn't exactly a failure for the third console in the market. I am not going to spend like it was a success, but it did sell modestly. Yeah, how is selling 56 million or something a bad thing? Like, really? That's a bad thing now, apparently. Truth is, there is no place for it when there is an S. That is not Microsoft failed last gen problem. This is something decided not to thing. 50 million plus is a failed project. Okay, clown. Midterm gymnastics at its finest. Yeah. This is you. We have damage control to do. Yeah. They are doing overtime that damage control right now. Selling at a loss and losing money isn't the same thing. You really think that Xbox doesn't make money? This is some next level pony delusion. Yeah, they think Xbox is taking a whole bunch of losses in everything they do. So it's like, it's just stupid logic. It's just dumb. So dumb. Life of a fraud station fan. 70% trying to show Xbox is irrelevant while always talking about them. That is very true. 20% reminiscing about sales numbers from years ago. Also true. 9% banning about other consoles while their own console is finished. And 1% playing bad games on the weak PS5. Holy us, all I ever see is PlayStation dudes constantly talking about Xbox. I think it's funny how these people are only relevant when they have us to talk. Capping last gen in 2022. Well done, Jim. Well done, Jim will be proud. So apparently it was like a board meeting going on with Jim Ryan. He says, we can't make enough PS5s due to lack of components. Any ideas? Release our games day one on PC and PS Now. So this lady says, make a PS5 Lite for $300. Then this guy right here says, make more PS4s. And then Jim Ryan looks at this guy and says, employee of the month for PlayStation. He still has this shocked look on his face. Like, what? Oh, this is pretty funny. Okay. This guy says, funny how bots think doing what Xbox is doing is the solution. Yet Xbox have sold less consoles, make less revenue, and have no next-gen games. Logic is not your forte. Okay. Damage control by blind Sony fanboy. Are you sure we're in 2022, Marty? This is crazy. Like they're legit okay with this. Like we're seeing still PS4 stuff in 2022. Like what is going on here? No, you need to move on at this point. Move the hell on. It's like PS5 and Xbox Series consoles at this point. Jeez. This tool blocked me from calling him out on his BS when another post. Apparently, it's certainly a W in my book. Guy creates a ton of consoleware posts, yet every other blue tick gaming journalist will turn a blind eye to them, or are preaching about how toxic gamers who engage in console wars are. So they're just more butthurt with these people. Oh man. Thanks for the take. I was wondering how a complete moron would read into this. So glad you're around to be that moron. Okay. Jeez. Who would have thought? Like this dude's tweet just made a lot of people just salty. Like, geez, they're so salty from this one guy's tweet. So what? That's good that Microsoft decided to drop the Xbox One. They focus on a new gen like they should. It's almost like Xbox strategy was the right move. Xbox knew what was going to happen before it happened. Like they have the time stone or something. You can miss me with that S. Xbox One for $5 retail cost Microsoft $47 to build at launch. I don't really care how much it costs these guys to build this thing. Who cares at the end of the day? It's like, and it says it's more on his coping hard. Yeah, he really is. But it's like, it's 2022. It's new consoles out. New technology is out. I don't want to play the old stuff anymore. I want to play on an Xbox One. I enjoyed my Xbox One X when I had it, but it's time to move on. It's a series console out here. I'm going to enjoy that. This dude still being butthurt that Sony's making PS4s. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But I'm going to conclude it right here. Definitely see your thoughts down below about this. This guy being so mad about this dude's tweets. Leave a like if you like this video. And as always, thanks for watching and peace.